Oh look, Six of Swords again. Guess what? You're moving on yet again. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whichever area of your chart you're wanting to look at. And if you don't know what your Rising and Moon sign are, then there is a link down below to get yourself a free birth chart. While we're on about, in the description, there's also a link to a Facebook group for this channel. So obviously I post these videos, but also the astrology videos that I'm learning from, some other readers, especially when they've got something quite remarkable to say, and ever so often the odd documentary. So come and join, and it also has its own inbox. So if you're interested in a personal reading from me, that's a good way to get in touch. There's also a Twitter handle down there as well. Now, being a general reading rules apply. So roles can be reversed if another person is appearing within this reading. I could be talking about them and me and you and vice versa, because the cards don't come with name tags. And timing is not absolute with divination. When it says June 2020 in the title, that's when I created it for publishing. The reading is appropriate as and when. Now, on that note, the reading either is for you or it isn't. Or rather, it is for you right now or it isn't for you right now. There is a past and a present in my spread. Now, if the past and the present don't fit, the reading's not for you. Go and watch your Rising, go and watch your Moon, go and watch another reader, because there's some brilliant ones here on YouTube. And the other thing is, I'd like you to ask a question prior to the reading. So you already know this bit if you've watched me before, but think about all of the questions that are around you and focus on one of them. Focus adds energy to the process that either I will give back to you or the universe will give back to you in another way. But be aware of all of the questions that are floating around you, because the cards don't have the same sense of priorities as we do and may choose to answer a completely different question, but one that you was well aware of. So having said all that, I think that's all the housekeeping. Oh, thank you for everybody who has subscribed to me so far. And if you haven't subscribed to me so far, if you like this reading, please do subscribe. And also pressing the like button helps boost the video up a little bit within the search rankings. With my viewing figures, it's not really a great deal, so in that matter every little helps. So yeah, please do press the like button and please do subscribe. I'm still a baby channel, I'm only 7 months old, and every little helps. Now that's my begging done. Let me bring up the cards, and it rather looks like you're going through. Now, I've been saying this to everybody, and it does seem to be going through for everyone. There is a transformative time that's going on for everybody at the moment. Now, you seem to be smack bang in the middle of your own personal transformation. It's like, I feel that you are full of direction. You're ready to head off, where, you know, you have your eyes focused on a goal that you're heading to. Even if the dream that you are considering, you know, that's motivating your actions here is still forming. You know, it's one thing that I'm finding with her hair being merged with the water or lava, you know, because of the colouring of the card, that the Princess of Cups, the dream's in the stage of growing. Even though you feel thoroughly dedicated to it, even if you don't know quite where you're going, you're quite willing to head off there. And this is in a victorious fashion. You have had some form of victory. But in the Oracle cards, we have change. You know, you can't argue with that. Change is here. And there is growth here as well. If you look at the bottom of the decks, we have 0, the Fool, going miss a card and then go to 2, the High Priestess. Ooh, I'll get my teeth in. and then miss several cards and go on to 14, Temperance. So the time is now, even though there is another message of be gentle with yourself, be patient with yourself in this process, but the time is now. But if you look at this, 0 to 14, that's an exponential curve. Things are growing, things are changing. Balance is most definitely required with this Temperance card, but balance will be provided. You just have to make sure that while your dream is still forming itself, you know that it's real. Because from the Le Carte Infernal, I drew Mammon. Now, it says here, Mammon is the personification of greed, and he allegedly taught mankind how to strip mine the mountains for gold and other treasures. His name comes from an Aramaic word for material wealth. That's all true. His name does come from a word for material wealth, but he was never a being. He was never a being. Let me get my facts right here. He was never a being until Paradise Lost. And Colin de Plancy, who included him in the Dictionnaire Infernal, got him from Paradise Lost. So even though you may find magicians who work with the personification of Mammon, he's an egregore. He's come from, when was Paradise Lost written? I don't know. But 16th century, 17th century, you know, because that's the Dictionnaire Infernal was quite old, as in hundreds, not thousands of years old. So obviously if he's quoting Paradise Lost, so he's something that has sprung into being from an idea that hasn't been a genuine being in and of himself. Now that's not to say that there isn't an active Mammon now, but that's a thought form. Are you chasing here with this Princess of Cups a thought form, or are you chasing something that is real? The reason I ask that is because there's all this growth going on, but you are being called to work out what is it that you need to cut away at the moment. We have the King of Swords for your current situation, clarified by the Hermit. Well, we've talked about that, the transformation, the looking within for your inner light, and the Nine of Swords, which is a rebirth. Nine of Swords, yeah, stress, anxiety, nightmares. But I'm sorry, this little character here who looks like a really badly drawn boy wonder Robin, who is facing down this giant goose with its savage teeth. He doesn't seem like he's that bothered by nightmares and fears. And we have here, what do you need to release? So there's a rebirth here. And now, I'm not saying that what you are chasing after is a thought form, is just something that, I mean, a thought form is still a thing that exists, so all things exist. But there's a difference between dealing with an angel or an egregore of an angel, or a demon and an egregore of a demon, for that matter. They are slightly different things, slightly different vibrations. They have connections to different layers of reality. So this is not where I thought this reading was going to go. But I do want you to call into question, I am sorry, about what levels of reality the transformation that you are aiming for is based on. Now, say it's a fitness transformation. Are you trying to conform to the body beautiful, or are you doing it for health? Now, I would say going for the body beautiful is chasing after the egregore, and doing it for health is doing it for health. It's a good idea. It's a real thing. But there's not always a bad side to chasing after something that is not real in the attempt to make it real. That's how every single business starts. So let's dive into these cards, because, whoa, that was a lot just from like a couple of cards, wasn't it? I'm going to go first to the distant, relevant past. Now, this could be 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, or 2 decades ago. It's when you learnt a lesson that you are either using now for good or for ill, or should be using now. So we have, right, this is not your first transformation. So this is not your first rodeo, is it, Gemini? I could call the reading that, couldn't I? Because you definitely up sticks and moved to a better place, whether this is a job, a relationship, a physical move, or simply a more metaphysical move, like from one religion to another, or a state of atheism or agnosticism into a particular religion, or a particular shamanic tradition, or a particular form of mysticism or animism or spiritism, whatever. There was movement. You were in one place and then you were in a new place, and this was a victorious movement that was going to a better place. It took strength to get there, but you were surprised when you got there, the actual transformation that it created within you. It enabled you to have a whole new beginning and led on again. So 6 of Swords there, 6 of Swords there. It led on to another move, to another better place. So this has been an ongoing process. So I think everything that I said in the first bit of the reading, you're no stranger to any of that. But you got to a point where you were starting to plan these moves and these developments. So I need a drink. And you were working constantly at this. It was almost like you was trying to impose the will of some higher dimension into the physical world, to construct something from, because you look at this cube that he is creating here, look at the two upgoing diagonal ones that go to the middle. One's in front of and one's behind. There's a not quite a Mobius stripness about it. It's one of those like Escher type drawings that's all at once inside out and the right way round of itself. But you were trying to create, impose that sort of will, which is, your efforts on that are coming into culmination now. What you are going through right now is the culmination of what you were starting here. But it required quite a lot of balance, because although you was being given the signal, yes, do it now, do it now, do it now, it's almost like you really needed to make the choice. And I think it was the harder choice to carry on with this, creating this, whatever it is. So this could be starting your own business. This could be creating a whole new identity for yourself in whatever way, shape or form that means. It could be from fashion to witness protection, but creating a whole new identity for yourself inside and out. That when you create a new identity externally, it can be representative of a change internally, or it can be a tool to try and create that change internally. The fake it till you make it sort of philosophy. But you chose the stronger path, the path that required more strength, which was a lot of work, but this was a harvest that you kept tending. And the current state of your dream, I think you can have more confidence in it than what this Princess of Cups implies. We've got the Queen of Cups here, followed with the Eight of Cups, but it's almost like, and the Seven straight after. There's been attempts to distract you off your path recently. You're quite happy with the cup that you have, and you walk away and reject all the other cups, but it doesn't stop the different options coming up for you. But you have been tending your own harvest. You've been sticking to it, but the world has changed. The world has been supporting you. I mean, look at that particular world. It's a nuclear atom that gives superheroes powers, you know. But this is coupled with the Tower. But I'm not even feeling the shaking down to foundations. I'm feeling, well, I am, but it's like you've been shaken down to the foundations and the foundations have held. I feel really warm about that building there. It's hanging on the rocky outcropping that one good earthquake and that's it, that's in the sea. But I feel really good about that house, like it is a place of power, a place of sanctuary, like it's one of those magical houses that appear somewhere and then disappear and appear again somewhere else. Can't you tell I read a lot of comics? And well, like that doesn't give it away. But there is a point of you are looking within now, seeing what you need to strip away, because you were shaken down to your foundations by all these attempts by the world to distract you, and I think that you have stuck with that new identity, that new philosophy, that new career, that new business, that new thing that you've been working towards, and you have been nurturing it. And the whole point of you releasing something at the moment is in the attempt to nurture, but there is change coming. There has been change outside in the world as well. So 8 of Cups again. So you really are being called to question certain aspects of this stream, but it is at the same time saying remain true to yourself, the Hierophant, and knowledge, studying, bookwork. I knew I was forgetting an oracle card. But the Star is also telling me that there is new information that comes in. Despite how you've rejected options so far, there is a bit of illumination or option that comes in that makes you go, ha, yeah. Now that'll either prove what you've been doing right or prove what you've been doing wrong. And I've got no idea which yet. I would say it will prove what you've been doing right, but enable you to get rid of some of the clutter. You know, let's go back to the idea of Mammon. If you're wanting to work with spirits, you want to work with spirits, not the egregores of the spirit. You want to work with Archangel Michael, not the astral representation of everybody's belief in Archangel Michael. But, oh look, 6 of Swords again. Guess what? You're moving on yet again. So I think this wisdom that comes in, whether you completely abandon your dream or you're just shaping it up, because again, I don't feel that sense of loss there. It's almost like, yeah, they're done. I've learned what I need to on that particular path. Now I move on to my next path, which is what the 6 of Swords seem to be representing here, here and here. But you are unifying. Yes, 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. You are unifying. And what I am tempted to say is you are unifying your belief in what you are wanting to do, in whatever shape it is at this point, with the real world. 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Let's see what oracle deck you got. Wide open. Yes, there is a call to be open to new information at the moment. Now, the world has been and is threatening what you're trying to do right now, but that is all part of the process, because the world very soon, world and death again. Where did I see it? Right. So we have the world here and death, change there, and world and death there again. So it's change one after another coming in for you. but that enables you to surge on ahead forward and nurture, one, a love offer, or two, the idea that you have been working with all along. So yeah, I think the idea will come up polished, you know, got rid of some of the crap, but it's going to come up good here because we have Knight of Cups, High Priestess. Now into the potential future from here. Right, you are required to listen to your guidance lest you fall into conflict and disbelief. But also I do feel that, look how this Four of Cups, he's sat, now I would say in a cubicle, but that just does not scan right, not nowadays. But within a load of cubes, and those cubes are the product of what he's done. And there is an element of bored now, wanting to move on. So follow the guidance that is given you, because there, as much as you have all these Six of Swords, there will continuously be an element of bored now, want to move on, keep reappearing its head. And that's only right. But there is a whole new victorious beginning as long as you do listen to the guidance that comes in. So this thing that you are trying to achieve and trying to transform into at the moment, even after it's polished, even after it's all, you know, it's all tickety-boo, you know, it's shiny, it's working, you can walk away and come back and it's still working, it's not going to let you down, it's consistent, it's having the positive effect. Right, finished now, bored, move on. Bored is probably a strong word to use there, to be honest, but I mean, because I feel like there is someone around you that, ooh, there's quite a lot of influence around you at the moment. Someone is trying to muzzle you. Someone is threatening the destruction of everything that you have, or so you think. But I think what they are actually doing is getting you to up your game slightly. They're getting you to level up with this Princess of Pentacles here. Tower, Princess of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. They may be highlighting to you, look, you need to cut this thing out. And if you're not listening to them, they will do it another way, and they will do it by challenging you. But your fear seems to be that you are left alone with anxiety, that you're not necessarily able to balance all of the information that you are getting. But you are able to pull this through into the real 3D world, whatever this means for you. If this is a personal transformation, relationship transformation, job, business project, whatever. Because the one thing we have here, the angel energy across all of this reading, the Angel Prince of the North, I celebrate my uniqueness with joy and gratitude. So that uniqueness that you have, that has been apparent through all of here, is, well, keeps changing, obviously, you know, it's dynamic. But that is your, the phrase I keep thinking is selling point, which makes me think there's a lot of people listening to this on a business level. But it is the high point of this whole story. Because, yeah, you keep with that strength and you will find rebirth through material actions, and you will be seen to be everything that you are trying to be, which I think is a good thing. As I don't mean that in an ego way, although there is the ego trap there if you let it, but you have the strength to carry on through all of this. This is why you started this path at the first place. But I love this High Priestess. It is at once you coming into balancing the two demands of your goal stroke dream, which is dynamic in itself and is forever just out of your reach to keep leading you along, and the grounded real world with these pentacles. But it is also some form of otherworldly advice. I mean, there has to be a reason I kept going on about the egregores and stuff, you know. So if you work with some form of spiritual entity, yeah, they're helping. They're definitely helping. They're advising, and they are helping you graduate. That's another thing I might call this reading. Yeah, level up and graduate. Okay, so if this means anything to you, Gemini, like I said, comment down below. It's always good to get your feedback so that I don't just think I'm just sat talking nonsense to a camera. Like, share, subscribe. I've given you that speech. Your next readings, well, at the moment I'm going to be doing these the zodiac readings for monthlies, and then I'm going to look at Chinese zodiac for monthlies. I am also doing Western and Chinese zodiac combinations, so there's 144 of them to do. I've done 6. But yeah, keep your eye open for them. But I am also returning to my sun with moon or rising videos. I'm going through Cancer moon or rising videos at the moment, because if you're Cancer rising, everything's going on in your 12th house at the minute, and you could probably do with the support. So if you are Cancer rising, keep an eye open for that as well. In the meantime, your full moon readings will be out shortly after this. And if I get chance to do them, your lunar galactic downloads as well. Cheers.